Hey guys, Andrew here with Justified EDC. Welcome to the channel. This is the first upload and it may or may not go well. We'll find out. This is just something on screen just to keep you watching. We'll go over this in a little bit, but what I wanted to do today was talk about my current EDC setup. I didn't really have anything else to do for a first video, so I figured I'd run you through that, kind of give you a feel for what I carry, and if you're going to be interested in what I have on the channel. So first up, we'll get rid of the boring stuff. Keys, just have these wrapped up here in some tape because don't show people your house keys online. Copies can be made from photos and videos. Serial numbers on guns, bad. Photos of your house key, don't do that stuff. So I have this on a little leather fob here, an old maker I used to follow. I don't even think he's around anymore. Victorinox Classic. A little bottle opener shank thing from Neomag blades. Steel, it's got to be some kind of tool steel, carbon steel. It's got a little bit of rust going, but I don't really care. Just keep it on there as a bottle opener, really. Door tag for work, house key, apartment key, car keys, and then this copper tag from Order of the Black Shamrock. If you know, you know. So there's that. Other boring stuff out of the way. Always have a Nalgene because water gang. Grinder Farm sticker. Also, if you know, you know. Drummer of August Burns Red, Matt Griner. Usually have some kind of glasses on me, whether these are... I'm a machinist, so during the day, I usually have these safety glasses on me at all times. If I'm not at work, I usually have some sort of sunglasses. Let's see, where should we go next? Let's go right into the knives. So my philosophy with knives has changed over the years, and it still changes daily, weekly, monthly. But usually I want to have something that is good for utility and something that is a people sticker, whether that's the same knife or two different knives or three different knives. It kind of changes based on where I'm going, what mood I'm in, what knives I have currently. But right now what I've been doing is when I'm at work, and even most times when I'm off, I've been carrying my Emerson Elvia. I have this Gypsy EDC wave mod on here. I think this is one of the prototypes. The ones that he sells now are a little bit more finished. They're anodized. This was a prototype that he had sent me for testing. I have this drilled and tapped for left-hand carry, so that when you have this in your right-hand pocket, you can carry it with the blade oriented this way, so it comes out of the pocket. It does it better in the pocket. And then you can just rotate it right into that reverse grip. That's how I like to carry it. So I usually carry that as my my people sticker, and then I usually carry this Leatherman Skeletool because I like having a multi-tool, but I also like having a knife that I can beat up and use for utility. I apologize for our dog in the background. She's just pawing away at the back door. So this is doubled as both my EDC blade and as my multi-tool. This is a great multi-tool. It's got everything you need and nothing you don't. It's got a pocket clip. It's pretty lightweight. I beat the hell out of it. As you can see, I just had to replace these bits recently. Already starting to get some use on them. So I've been doing that, and usually what I've been trying to do is have a multi-tool, a defensive blade, and a utility blade. But these kind of have filled both roles for me. One thing I did just pick up is this Artisan Cutlery Sea Snake, designed by Michael Emler. You see his channel on YouTube probably. But this is to me, just pretty much a purely utility blade. I mean, any knife is a people sticker in a pinch, but this is purely a utility blade for me. It's ground. I believe that's a full flat grind. That feels like a full flat grind. Very, very, very thin behind the edge. I'd say that's probably 13, 14 thousandths behind the edge. I can measure that for you guys if you're interested. It's in Artisan's and CGRB's exclusive steel AR RPM 9, which from what I understand is kind of on par there with your 154 CMs, your N690s, that kind of thing. It's been good for me so far. again, very slicey. You got this grip. You can choke up on it. I mean, you can do your pull cuts, that kind of thing. I apologize. I hurt my hand at work, so I can't really grip a whole lot right now, so my grips are going to look a little weird. You can do the pinch grip very nicely. And then, as always, I like, with any knife, to just see how it does in that Pakal grip. It's all right. This kind of sticks into you a little bit, but yeah, not really for that. I've just been carrying this horizontally on my waistband, on my left side like this, so I can cross draw my right hand. And it's been pretty good so far. I like it. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this, but I do like the idea of having a utility knife horizontal on the belt like that, and then having a defensive blade and a dedicated multi-tool. So that's what I've been doing right now. I do have some other things coming that might change up how I do that, and my work versus my daily life carry is a little bit different. So if you guys want specific videos on what I carry outside of work versus what I carry in work as a machinist, let me know in the comments. That'd be really cool, because I need video ideas. Ow, I keep clenching my hand and that hurts a lot right now. So next up, flashlight. This is the flashlight that has kicked all other flashlights out of my pocket. This is the Surefire Stiletto Pro. This is the one with the aluminum body and the pocket clip that can be tip up or tip down, I guess bezel up or bezel down. I carry it with the bezel down, so I carry this in my left-hand pocket, so I can grab this out of the pocket and go right into the tail switch with the high mode. I believe this is 1,000 lumens. It's a pretty wide spread. Even just holding it a couple feet above the table, you can see that. It's very bright though, programmable from here, and then you also have this button, which is a low, medium, and high. You can access and cycle through those. Your tail cap just goes straight to high, and I believe if you double tap or triple tap, it goes into strobe then. I don't ever really use that, but this is a great, great, great light. It's super thin, so it lays flat in the pocket, almost like a knife or a multi-tool. You can see there compared to the Leatherman. It's just about the same thickness. The Leatherman might actually be slightly thicker. But yeah, it's super easy to carry. That's really what kicked all the other lights in my rotation out of rotation. I had a Haley Strategic Surefire that had that grip ring, which I enjoyed carrying when I was carrying a firearm that did not have a weapon-mounted light. But this, you can still do the old Surefire technique for shooting with a handgun. Most of my guns have weapon-mounted lights on them, so really the only time this is an issue is if I'm carrying a J Frame. But yeah, this is a great light for EDC and for tactical situations, even though that word is grossly overused in this community. But yeah, this is a great light. Can't recommend it more. It's a little pricey, but I mean, if you were already using things like Surefires, mod lights, Cloud Defensive, or those other bougie light brands, this isn't going to be a big deal. So Surefire Stiletto Pro, great light. I really am interested in the Cloud Defensive lights, but again, they're just really chunky. So we'll see. Next up, in terms of tools still, I have this pouch that, and I'm actually thinking about switching out this pouch with another one. I have another one on the way from Knoll Knives, but this is made by Citizen E. I believe her tag is Who is Citizen E on Instagram, and I'll try to remember to link things in the description. I'm still learning, but anything that's either a maker's Instagram or a link to buy something on Amazon like this or Surefire's website, whatever. I'll try to remember to put things in the description. But anyways, this is made by Citizen E. She's awesome, super cool maker. Pretty much only does things by drops, so you kind of just have to keep an eye on her Instagram story. But this is obviously a multicam black because I'm a tactical nerd, and even though I know multicam black does nothing for actual camouflage, look it up. It looks cool, and I don't care, and it stays in my pocket, so it's just a cool color. So in here I actually use this as my wallet right now. So if you open this up, I have this little ruler card that I keep in there covering all my other cards. But got all my cards in there. Got about, I don't know, including business cards and stuff, probably got about a dozen cards in there. I got shooting range, punch cards, cash. Got a couple folded bills there in the back. I also keep in here my Offensive Industries and Northview Products copper coin. Super, super cool. You'll probably see a lot more from Offensive Industries on this channel. Northview Products is pretty cool. I got some of his silver. Got this very well-made coin. This is my little fidget thing when my wife is in the room so that I don't drive her absolutely insane clicking my knives. So yeah, that's really all that's for. It stays in here. The zip's closed. Very nice quality zippers. Very nice quality material, stitching, everything, the elastic, everything is very well made on all of E's products. So in the front here then, there's nothing on the back. I think she does make some with like another zipper pouch or some more slots back here. But here you just got the front zipper pouch, these two pockets, and then these two pieces of elastic, which in the past I've put like a Bic lighter in or a small pen like a Poca pen or a Space pen. But in here right now I have a little lanyard here. Victorinox, I believe this is the Tinker, or I think this is the Tinker, but it's got all screwdrivers, cap lifters, two knife blades, tweezers, toothpick, pretty standard. I really have this in here so that when I'm not at work, I don't have to carry this and bulk up my pockets. And there's my dog again. Hey, Ellie, do you mind? I'm filming here. So this is really in here so that when I'm at work, I don't have to put this in my pocket if I don't want to weigh myself down. But I'm looking into that other pouch that I ordered, should be able to fit this. So instead of having this clip to my pocket, I should be able to slide this in, one of the pockets in the pouch. So looking into that. But for right now, the Victorinox is in there. Like I said, I believe it's the Tinker. Feel free to correct me. I got a Sharpie in here. And because I don't have room for a Sharpie and a pen, I like having a Sharpie because it writes on everything. I use them at work frequently. This one also has the thinner like pen tip. So I like that just so I don't have to carry a separate pen as well. And then this is a pry tool that I made myself. It's just got some fabric tape. It's like self-adhesive. I use it on a lot of my gun grips and stuff like that, wrapping rifles, that kind of thing. But this is a pry bar I made myself out of an old combination wrench. See how good you can see that there. But yeah, just made this myself out in my shop. Nothing fancy. But I hated the fact that like every like professionally made pry bar on the market right now has a cap lifter on it or some stupid bit driver, or it's got some giant karambit ring or whatever. I just wanted something thin and simple and strong, and that it just was a pry tool. No screwdrivers, no fancy gimmicks, no nothing like that. It's just a pry bar. So I made one myself. And it was a little slippery, not necessarily when you're using it, but because to like keep it in this pouch. If I didn't have this on here, it would kind of just, if my pouch moved or I took it out too fast, it would tend to just kind of slip out. So I put this grip tape on here. It's working for now. It kind of looks like a piece of hobo engineering, but it kind of is. So I don't mind it. But yeah, that is my pry tool. Just save the tips of my knives. Pry tools are actually very handy, unlike what most of trendy Instagram photos would make you think. They actually do get used when they're quality tools that are made to be used and not just some fancy Timascus cap lifter. Let's see what else we got. Right here, this is a little pouch. I don't even remember who made these. I believe they stopped making them anyways. I think they stopped making product altogether. But this is just a little pouch that, I mean, I have one in my chest rig for my AR that's, I put batteries in and stuff like that. But I actually use this to hold my AirPods. I had a leather case on them, but the leather cases for AirPods seem to wear in so well that they get loose. And that was driving me nuts. It kept slipping out. So now I just keep it in here. It zippers it closed. Also with this fob, I can attach this to my keys. I have, see if I can find this through the viewfinder. I have this little clip on here that I can clip on here. Keep this dangling for my keys if I want to. But yeah, it works well enough for me for an AirPods case. Nice and dirty because it's used at work. But there's that. Also multicam black because I want to say it's God's favorite color, but it's definitely not. One more thing, another multicam black. This is another, I believe this is Signal Hill Supply, some of the shop rags as well. These were actually made as bands to stow a sling on a rifle, which I do have several more that are doing that job. But I have this on here right now. This is just some compressed gauze. I used to carry a tourniquet, and then I watched a guy on here named Prep Medic on YouTube. And he actually said that, he actually suggested, as someone that has worked in the medical field for quite a while, as a paramedic, that if you're going to carry one piece of emergency life-saving medical gear, he actually recommends flat compressed gauze. One, it's super easy to carry. I even have some Band-Aids and Neosporin and kind of like a boo-boo kit wrapped up in there as well. But this compressed gauze is a little more versatile than a tourniquet. Especially if you're thinking about gunshot wounds. We often think about tourniquets because that's kind of what the industry has pushed as like the one thing you should have on you. You're actually more likely to see tourniquet wounds on situations where people are wearing armor. But as a civilian, I don't know about you, but I'm not wearing armor a whole lot. And when I am, it's not when I'm out and about in my daily life. So you're actually more likely to see torso wounds in an active shooter situation or in a self-defense situation where you've gotten shot. So I'd much rather have something like this where I can plug wounds. You can also just use this as a compression bandage. And in a pinch, it's very much not ideal. It's worse than a rat tourniquet. You can use this as an improvised tourniquet. I have a full medical kit in my car. I have a bag here that I'll show you in a bit that I keep more medical things, including tourniquets in. But for every day, especially at work, where I'm working with machinery that can be potentially dangerous and around a lot of sharp metal and other materials, this just makes more sense for me. Lacerations I can wrap up real quick. You can use it as a compression bandage. That kind of thing. So this just makes more sense for me. And again, having this boo-boo kit in here with Band-Aids and Neosporin and that kind of stuff, it just makes more sense. So there's that. And again, the band is from Signal Hill Supply. The last thing, well, getting close to the end here. Just didn't realize how long this video was getting. My carry gun right now, and I do rotate carry guns, but right now in the very hot summer months, I just keep finding myself going back to the J Frame. Just because, again, apologize for my grip here. I can't fully close my right hand right now. But the J Frame is just so convenient. It's lightweight. It's small. All the edges are rounded, even on especially on the grips that I have on here. It's just very comfortable to carry, especially in a good holster. This is a Harry's Holsters Icon. Very minimalist. It's not this big, square, blocky holster like you see a lot of people make for J Frames. It's got this cut here that makes it smaller. It's very thin. Again, just like the revolver, the widest point is the cylinder. But it's a very easy, comfortable package to carry. Discreet Carry Concepts clips. If you're carrying a gun and your holster doesn't have these on them, one, you're wrong, and two, go to discreetcarryconcepts.com and buy some of these because they're great. You can always tell a quality holster company from whether or not they have these as an option on their website. But I'm rambling now. So yeah, the J Frame, this is the 638 with the shrouded hammer in 38 special. This was my grandfather's. He got this back in the 90s, so this is quite an old gun at this point. However, the trigger has broken in very nicely. This is loaded for all of the safety nerds out here because it's a carry gun. If you're interested, this is Spear Gold Dot. Actually, no, this is not Spear Gold Dot. My Spear Gold Dot is what I carry in 9mm. This is Federal Punch, which is supposed to be a like slightly less premium version of a lot of the like high-end like HydroShock and stuff like that that Federal makes. But it is the plated cartridges, the Striker, not Striker, why am I forgetting the name? It's sealed off. Hollow point, it's good ammunition. I've had no problem with Federal Punch recently. I've known a lot of people, done a lot of testing with Federal Punch. It shot beautifully out of this gun ballistically. Again, 38 special isn't the best thing in the world, but it works. But yeah, and there goes my phone. See you guys, the The mount I have here is very janky. You would laugh at me if you saw what I was using. But yeah, 38 special, 5-shot. Not the most efficient gun in the world, but it works for me. Again, I like the shrouded hammer because I can take shots in single action, but you still have that snag-free design. These are VZ grips. Actually, no, these aren't VZ grips. These are Hogue grips. Hogue G10 boot grips. Again, covering the serial number here because don't show your gun's serial numbers online. But yeah, these are contoured G10. They have some very aggressive texture here on the side, which I like. I wish they had actually put the texture on the front and the back instead of the sides, because this is what rubs against you in concealed carry. And this isn't that bad, don't get me wrong. But texture, you really want, especially here and here when you're gripping a gun, because those are your contact points. This is good for your support hand and stuff like that, but again, it works, and it's aggressive enough that I don't really mind it. It's still very comfortable to carry, easy to control, and this fills in this gap here to put your trigger finger more in line with the trigger when you're gripping it, as opposed to the grips that come on this gun, which leave this whole section exposed. So your finger's real high up and your finger's down at an angle. You're pulling on the trigger all the way up here, and it just makes shooting a double action gun even worse. So these are great grips. Highly recommend these. This is the best J Frame holster on the market, in my opinion. The only thing I wish is that it had a concealment wing, but I'm looking into some options for that. And then the last thing that's on my person is this that goes along with the gun, which is the Neomag RASC, which is basically just a little aluminum housing with a pocket clip that you can put a speed strip in. This is the best way to carry revolver ammo, hands down. I mean, obviously the most efficient way is a speed loader, but those are literally just cylinders, and they're bulky, and I don't know how anyone carries them efficiently and easy to access. So if someone has a solution for that, let me know. But this is the best way to carry revolver ammo, in my opinion. And I leave the 5th round out of here just because when you're going to load the cylinder, having that... this is not how you're supposed to do a reload. You should have it down like this, but for the sake of the camera, I'm going like this. When you're doing a reload, having the space in between those just makes it easier to get your rounds in, makes it a lot faster to get your rounds in. And the trade-off, you're already having really slow reloads with a revolver, so the trade-off of a little bit more speed for losing that 5th shot, and you can just pump the trigger and get all 4 shots off, it's worth it to me. Again, this is sometimes even a backup gun, and this is really just a convenience gun more than anything. So I'm not looking for 30 rounds of capacity here. It is what it is. There's compromises with everything. And in the summer, I'm willing to carry a J Frame to not feel like I want to die every time I carry. In the fall, or as soon as it starts to cool off, or I can comfortably wear it, where I'm not going to be doing a lot of physical labor, I usually carry an HK VP9 with a Streamlight TLR 7A. That's on the high end of compact, nearing a full-size gun. It's bigger than a Glock 19, smaller than a Glock 17. And speaking of the 17, in the winter I carry a 17 with a Surefire X300. So you should carry bigger guns if you can, with lights and all of that. It's good to do that. They're more efficient. But the convenience factor you can't really argue with. So how do you carry comfortably? Well, you get a good belt, and this happens to be the Blue Alpha Gear belt. I think they just go by Blue Alpha now, but I've had this belt for years now. It's beat up. I've worn it literally every day since I got it for the last, I think I've had this for like 3 years now. Very stiff, very rigid, but also comfortable. The buckle, if you even want to call it that, is very simple. You just loop this through there, fold it over, and there's pretty much infinite adjustability in terms of Velcro on this side. And it's great. You can slide the buckle out of the way, and then you just have a very flat place too if you're going to be appendix carrying. Move the buckle out of the way. If you're going to be carrying on the hip, you can just leave this up front. It doesn't print at all. Great belt, great EDC belt. Wouldn't recommend it for the range or anything, but for an EDC belt, this is about as good as it gets in terms of comfortability and actually supporting what's on your belt. And then last but not least, fanny pack, because anyone who says fanny packs aren't cool is lying. Again, a little fob here by Citizen-y. She makes a lot of cool glow stuff as well as the pouches. I carry in here, I'm not going to go through it all today, but I keep a lot of extra medical, tourniquets, a full IFAK, a couple other little tools, a emergency charger. If you're interested in seeing what's in here, let me know, and I can do a dedicated video just on these. These are made by Pineapple Co. on Instagram. I'll try to remember to link him as well. He makes some shirts and some stickers, and most importantly, some quality fanny packs. So that's just about it, guys, for my EDC right now. If you want to see a dedicated video on any of the things that I mentioned here, let me know. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.